Hey, what's up guys? Let's talk about the Cisco MAC address table. I had to get a cup of coffee to talk about this topic of the Cisco MAC address table. As I started looking into the CCNP Enterprise Core certification, I noticed they had added very fundamental topics like the MAC address table and fundamental switching. I wonder why that was added to the professional level certification, because I think that should be an associate level down at the CCNA. But I guess as anyone can now get the CCNP without the prerequisite of the CCNA, we got to now know some of these fundamentals at the professional level. So here I am at the back of my car, just trying to watch how many airplanes pass by. And I started trying to think about some analogies for the MAC address table. If you don't know, the MAC address table is pretty important on a switch as far as switch forwarding goes, because it needs to know where to send the data it needs to forward, which port it needs to go out of. So the MAC address table is a simple table of a port mapping to a MAC address. And when you plug in a device into a port, it's going to learn the MAC address of that host that you have just plugged in, and then it will add that to the table. This comes in handy when a switch needs to know where to forward the traffic. So if the host, let's say host A needs to send traffic to host B, that the data will hit the switch port and the switch needs to make a decision. It'll look at the source MAC address and the destination MAC address of the Ethernet frame. And when it looks at that destination MAC address, it'll do a lookup on the MAC address table and forward it out to the necessary port. Knowing that the switch needs to send out the data to a port for that host B MAC address, what happens if the destination host is not on the same VLAN? Then the destination MAC address would have to be forwarded to the gateway, whichever port the gateway happens to be residing on. But what happens if the MAC address is unknown? It doesn't have the MAC address in its table. Well, that becomes then what's known as a unicast flooding that happens on all ports, where if the switch is looking for a host, or say host A is looking for host B, and that MAC address is not in the table, well, then the switch sends out that request to all ports saying, hey, whoever has this MAC address, please respond so I can send it to this host and we could forward the data to you. And if that MAC address is not yours, the host simply ignores that frame. We all know when you travel and you get on a plane, let's say you have an assigned seat. Everyone would have an assigned seat. They go to the seat that's marked for them, whether that's, for example, A3. And the company that runs that plane knows which seat you're in. So if they need to reach you, they know exactly which seat you go to. And imagine that seat is your port, your switch port. Have you ever been on a plane where then they start asking people, hey, is John Doe here on the plane? They don't know what seat he's on because he wasn't in that seat that was assigned to him, so they need to now do a unicast flooding to figure out where John Doe is. And if you are John Doe, then you would raise your hand and say, hey, that's me. I'm John Doe. I'm here on this seat on C14, for example. So that's kind of the analogy that I've had with MAC address table, the importance of a MAC address table, because it is used for forwarding traffic at the layer 2 level. And so I guess we could take this analogy even further with planes and apply that to layer 3 routing. And that would be for another video.